you need ND filters? I put out a claim that this might not be the most important thing for you when you start flying your drone. So today I'm going to prove it to you that there is literally no difference if you use ND filters or not. The whole idea about using ND filters when you are recording video is that you can lower the shutter speed and ideally aim for the 180-degree rule where you set the shutter speed at the double of the frame rate. This is super theoretical and not very practical. The problem with that approach is that you have very little options to adjust when you are in flight with a fixed aperture drone. The story is different when you can adjust the aperture on the bigger DJI drones. It might make perfectly sense to do this. You will have much more benefit in practicing your flying skills, the way to make compositions and stuff like that, instead of have to worry about creating motion blur with your drone. So let's get the drone airborne and then record some reference footage and then later repeat it with the filter mounted. The first experiment that we will do is we will fly between these two trees here, two small trees. Let's just stop the video recording and get a fresh one here. We are recording 4K 30 FPS. And I'm just flying forward at a reasonable pace. Just flying up to plus 40-ish. Yes, let's back away. So we are trying to keep the altitude 15 because it is quite windy today and we don't want the drone to be thrown around too much up there. All right. 40-ish, 15. So just so we have some reference here, so let's just see what the shutter speed is. Right now the shutter speed is 1/1250. This is what it needs to keep neutral exposure. I have no way of reducing the shutter speed because what will happen here is that I will overexpose the footage a lot, and it doesn't help me if I adjust the ISO. That would just make it even worse. You only have one parameter that you can adjust, and this is the shutter speed, and that needs to be 1/1250. Okay, so the next experiment that we're gonna do is we are going to go down to, we put it in auto again. We're going down to 5 meters here, still 40 left here. So just so we can repeat it. We put it at 5 meters here, 5 meters height. And then I put the car in the center here. And then I will definitely do let's see what would be smart. We can do a quick shot because that will allow us to, maybe we should go a little bit, minimize the radius a little bit here. So we use 25 instead. So it's 5 meters and 25. We put the car in the center like this. We make sure that we have this set to 4K 30 FPS, so it's the same. I want to do the circle, and now a person is coming there, so maybe we should just put it like this. So, and we move in this direction. Clockwise. We will get a nice recording where it rotates, so we will have different elements that moves at different speeds. So we're keeping the exposure at 0. We just stop it like this. All right. So now we have 2 reference clips. And I will fly back here and I will mount a ND64 because it's pretty bright. So now the ND64 is mounted, and what we did here last time, we went down or back here until around 15 meters and then in the middle of this pathway here. And then we were flying in the middle of those trees. That was sort of the plan. And then we switched this one into Pro mode, and as you can see right now, the shutter speed is way too high. So we reduced that to the rule, the 1/60, which is where we need to be. 1/60. like this. And in that case, you can see it's actually underexposed. So what I need to do here is I need to bring up the ISO. So now we have neutral exposure on the footage. So 15 meters height, like this. The two trees in the center here. And we are pressing record and we are flying forward. -40 to +40. Which is around here, like that. Let's fly back. It's being squeezed a bit. So it's around here. Yes. So let's get the drone down into the position for the point of failure or the quick shot. That was around 25 meters away, and then the height was 5. Because what we want to do is we want to make sure that this one is set for 1/60 and we have neutral exposure. Yes. So we select the car, we press start. Just want to make sure that we make it as comparable as possible. Whoa. Let's just do one more where we go to 30 and 10 meters height. Put the car in the center here. Then we do. See, the ISO goes up and down. If you don't let the ISO go up and down, then you will get into a scenario where it's basically either being under or overexposed. So let's do it in this altitude, 30 meters away, position over the line here. We put the car in the center here and we select quick shots here, which is see, the shutter needs to be really high to do this. As it is right now, we just put it back in auto. So we select the car. We are 10 meters high. We go a little bit back like this. 3, 2, 1, go. We're doing neutral exposure on all the shots, so they are comparable. Using the standard color profile. I will play the clips one after the other, at least parts of it, and then I will play them side by side so you can see the actual difference between the footage recorded with or without a ND64 filter. And then you tell me if you think it's worth the hassle. One of the things that you might have noticed is that if you have put on a filter that is too dark, the ISO needs to be turned up. And with an increased ISO, the quality will be worse. Does that mean that I don't use ND filters at all? No, not at all. I actually use them a lot of times, especially under conditions like these. I just pick one that I know is not going to be too dark, like an ND16, and then I'll keep that filter on the drone on the entire flight. So what that is doing is that instead of the auto setting where it's 1/1250 in shutter speed, I might land at 1/100 or 1/150 or something like that, at least at a much lower level. But I'm not trying to aim for the 180-degree rule. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, then feel free to give a like. If you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you around.